Hello friends and welcome. Today I wanted to talk about something cool I saw during the Lima Major games. We have Liquid here playing Pudge Crystal Maiden versus Broodmother Rubick on BetBoom, and Liquid is going to lose this matchup. But later on, Aster played this exact same lane matchup against Shopify Rebellion and won. And I think that's something we know can happen as Dota players, that you can have the exact same lineups, but that the outcome can be different just based on what happens. But it's rare we actually get to see like a direct comparison. Now, it's not, of course, perfectly the same, but I still wanted to point out some similarities versus differences that kind of maybe led to these, different results, which I don't even know who has the fully right approach. There can be just skill differences between all these teams. I'll throw that out there. There's no disrespect to any of them. But the main difference in this matchup is going to be the Pudge. Mickey, and I don't know if it's just his or maybe the whole team's, but I think the game plan is that Pudge is the counter to Broodmother. Broodmother wants to get to 6. Up to that point, she's not doing anything too crazy, but she's like a pretty decent laner nowadays with her spells. Once you hit 6, you want your spiderlings to accelerate your farm, threaten kills on the enemy because broodlings bring a lot of damage. And then once the enemy realizes, like, oh, I can't lane here or I die, the lane's empty, you get to farm as much as you want and you get to take the tower really quickly. You don't want that to happen. It's not ideal to get kicked out of a lane and just not be able to play against, wherever Brood is, no one gets to go. So you need someone who can counter that, who will survive through the broodlings, who can threaten to kill them so that you don't lose your tower and they don't just like rat through you. And then, also get through the laning stage with Brood. And I think that's where Pudge comes in because he's a lot tankier than many other carries, standard carries, and Rot offers the damage to threaten spiderlings and threaten all of them, right? And not just some. So that's why I think they picked Brood, and Liquid's approach is to get the Vanguard, right? So Pudge buys 3 mangoes and then has the rest of his items here, and this Quelling Blade, those are the different ones. So Monet on Aster is going to buy the same Iron Branches, Ring Protection, Tangos, but he buys a Magic Stick instead of a Quelling Blade and a mango, or 3 mangoes. I think Liquid's approach was more casual, kind of like get through the laning stage, get this Vanguard. Now we become super tanky. Spiderlings can't kill me through Vanguard. Vanguard, just all around a decent Pudge item, and like that'll be our approach, right? And up to there, I think kind of worked out, but it led to some differences at this like level 3, level 4, which changed the lane. And what lost Liquid this lane is that Pudge dies twice in a row. And I think it's because this Vanguard approach is a little more passive than what Aster went. Now, yes, maybe if just things go a little bit different, this approach does work, and I thought it was going to work too, actually, which is why I thought it was cool and why we're comparing it. Again, I don't know if it's like fully right. Like maybe they should do this approach. It just didn't pan out this game. But you can kind of see they're just like playing the lane. You see they're kind of like going for this Frostbite hook combo on whoever they can. It's kind of splitting the damage, though, so that they're kind of able to do what they need on BetBoom. Neither hero is super close to dying. They're kind of like trading off on regen between the mangoes and the tangos. Skipping ahead, the lane has gone fairly equally, 15-4 on Pudge, 13-2 on Brood. That's just about equal. Brood is about to hit level 3, and they're going to go aggressive and get a Pudge kill here. Now, I want to highlight, Pudge is buying his Ring of Health right now, right? It's not instant. It really hasn't done much for him, and it's not here yet. This is one of the downsides of Ring of Health, right? If you can't get here on your own, you have to have your courier either buy it from the secret shop or buy it here and then bring it over to you. And then the Ring of Health takes time. It gives you a lot of regen, but it's not great in an instant fight. So here you see Pudge is actually pretty healthy. Now maybe he has the Ring of Health a little sooner. Yeah, he's completely full health. But he's pretty healthy here when this fight starts, which is that Brood hits level 3. They're kind of waiting for Pudge to leave the tower a little more. Steps out just enough, and now we go, right? Now, prior to this, Pudge, pretty healthy, mostly full health. Maybe if he has this Ring of Health sooner, he is full health. You're going to see this comes down to the wire, so maybe that does make a difference, but that's the downside. It's an expensive item, takes time to get. Because they have all these right clicks, the Silken Bola, all this damage comes down on Pudge. He can't really fight because he has a Ring of Health. This is a long-term item, not an upfront, fight to the death kind of item. So he barely dies. One last hit. This Ring of Health and these 2 mangoes, let's say the fight lasted 10 seconds. They give about, 8 regen, so about 80 health. Compare that to what you're going to see Monet buy is a chainmail, and with that magic stick, the chainmail provides effective health through the armor physical reduction, which for the amount of auto attacks he took would be more than 80 damage in this case. So the chainmail he would have already had because it's cheaper, it's easier to buy. You don't have to go through these like secret shop things. The magic stick, depending how many charges you have, but they've been using a good amount of charges, right? That combo right there was already like 4 spells just now. 4 spells is it is 60 health plus then your extra armor. So there would have been more value from the chainmail and the magic stick in this particular fight than the Ring of Health. Save buys a raindrops as well, so when Crystal Maiden tries to harass there, he actually takes no damage thanks to the raindrops. It's what they're good for in very fight-heavy lanes. Here we have this combo. Yes, it's scary up front, but imagine if he had 120 less health because he didn't have these raindrops. He would be really close to dying and probably in panic mode to try to get out of here. But instead, he's kind of healthy enough and Brood is close enough that they say, hey, let's fight and let's just kill Pudge. Pudge, once again, starting off pretty much at full health, even healthier than last time, but can't kill this Rubick instantly with that combo. Broodmother joins in there, another 120 damage blocked thanks to the raindrops, which 240 damage, this guy's dead without these raindrops. So that would have been nice, at least get the Rubick kill before Pudge himself dies. But actually, Rubick's not going to die. He gets to auto attack a couple more times, and you see his auto attack is the last one that kills the Pudge. So Rubick, itemizing for more, planning to fight, has these raindrops, allows him to survive here, help get in these like one more auto attacks to kill Pudge, which again, the Ring of Health, Mango, now just 1, even less, but about 80 HP, still more value from that chainmail, considering how healthy he is. 10% extra physical reduction when you have 860 health is 80 HP, but it's actually more than that. It's more than 10% physical reduction. And that doesn't even count like the damage block, all that stuff, all that value, blah, blah, blah. But again, I think if he itemized differently, he maybe survives here and does not die twice in a row. Pudge ends up having to walk all the way back to the lane and then does get some time to like farm and catch up, but is always a little cautious. They even bring like Invoker to gank. Liquid didn't quite see this, but I think they sensed it. So just more time, Pudge has to be very careful while Broodmother gets to do whatever she wants, and she is starting to pull ahead of this Pudge. Pudge does pick up his Vanguard, but you can see here when they decide to go on him, Broodmother, already level 6, already has a herd of spiderlings, and they go on Pudge, but don't kill him. They still take half his health though, and Mickey, he can do math, and he goes, wait, if I stay here and they do the exact same thing, half my health minus half my health, I'm dead. So he can't stay here anymore. He has to just kind of like chill, wait till he heals up enough that they can't just go and dive him. You know, get some farm, but they keep harassing. So he gets kicked out of the lane and has to just start jungling, which there are some stacks for him. He has the Vanguard, but what it means is Brood is now free to do whatever she wants. She's going to amass her spiderling horde, and she's going to take this tower at 9 minutes and 47 seconds. She ends up, you know, about 4.3k to Pudge's 3.2k. Aster's approach puts more emphasis on slowing down Brood's laning stage, I think. It's what I'm getting from the game. I don't know, right? I'm not on the teams. But, right, they have this magic stick, so as everyone's returning fire with spells, you're getting value from there. They Frostbite, hook combo the Saberlight, Brood, then they kind of just do it again. More Frostbite, more harass. This is going to force Saberlight to buy a bit more regen. When you have to buy regen, you're not buying, you know, your other items to get ahead. He, instead of getting that Ring of Health into Vanguard, which is more expensive, slower buildup, means you're weaker at the start, he's going to buy more consumables. He's going to buy phase boots. He's actually going to skip Vanguard completely, which I definitely didn't expect, but definitely worked out in this game. Skipping ahead again, Pudge already has chainmail because it's cheaper. They're even going on the Broodmother. It's actually getting pretty dicey, but that chainmail is helping keeping him alive. These stick charges, not just in this fight, but some that I skipped over, all of these, he's getting the value already because he's already picked up this cheaper item that helps him play a more aggressive lane. He's buying more consumables. It's already on the way. So he didn't die here. Now he's going to heal up, and he's ready to keep playing. They go on this Rubick here, and Crit did not buy raindrops, so he actually is going to live long enough to have his team kill Pudge first, but he is going to die in response. Now, although you don't love when this happens, at least when your support gets a return kill, it means your support is kind of getting some strength back as well to, you know, get a bit of gold, but get a bit of XP, and that helps you fight the lane more when you return, compared to, you know, not getting any kills, then it's like, wow, they just killed me and we got nothing. That's cool. At least Crystal Maiden is getting something out of this. We see in little skirmishes like this where, yes, his regen's a little lower without the Ring of Health, but he's kind of replacing that with some tangos here and there, and then the chainmail is just reducing the damage he's taking, so he doesn't need as much regen. Then his team's going to apply more pressure to Broodmother. You got ganks from like the mid lane, and this is where we're getting to like some different stuff, right? Different drafts, different game plans, but up to this point, Pudge is now starting to recover. Even though you didn't kill that Broodmother, you've now chased her out of the lane, and so Pudge is having a much better game off of his itemization, plus maybe a little help from his team. So then we get to a point where we even have techies ganking. That gets you a Brood kill, then they follow up, get a Rubick kill as well. Those kind of ganks are keeping Saberlight on his toes. Even though he could probably approach here safely, he's not fully sure because he doesn't know where that techies is, and he doesn't want to repeat that death. So he's getting some XP here, but Pudge is getting a lot of denies, getting the farm he needs to recover, and Pudge is actually going to hit level 6 first. So that here in this fight, Brood is 6, but she just hit 6, doesn't have her Broodlings, so it actually doesn't even matter that he doesn't have the Vanguard. Now the Vanguard would have done a little bit versus heroes, but it's mainly against the spiders, and if you're hitting 6 and killing Brood and scaring her, then you don't quite need that Vanguard, and armor will do something similar, plus these flesh heap levels to protect him versus the spiderlings. Guys, look at this. This is hilarious. Eventually, Brood is going to take this tower. She's going to kick them out of the lane because it's kind of just what Broodmother does. But notice the time. It's not even going to happen anytime soon because every time these spiders come up, okay, they did kill the Crystal Maiden, right? She's kind of squishy, but Pudge is tougher. So he's going to balance jungling and laning. They're going to delay this every time they walk up. Broodmother has to pull the spiderlings back because she can't just run and kill Pudge in the same way that last game she could. Eventually, it will happen. Pudge is going to go do other things, so the spiderlings are going to come and take this tower here at 13 minutes and about 30 seconds. So jumping back to the 10-minute mark for a more direct comparison, it's swapped. Pudge is at 4.2k and Brood is at 3.2k. I cannot definitively say, you know, this was the right approach. This is, you know, a sample size of 1. Perhaps both could work. Perhaps neither were supposed to work, but just execution differed, right? Skills are different on the teams. So I don't have a final lesson. I don't even know what you are strictly supposed to take from it because Pudge and Brood, I don't know how often you're going to play that lane setup, but I just thought it was cool to see these, you know, exact same heroes come out so differently. And maybe that is why what we saw, what we broke down, but maybe it's not. If you have your own ideas, let me know. I'd love to hear them. Let me know if you like these kind of videos because there's going to be a lot of tournament games and I'll definitely be watching a lot, looking for things like this to share with you all. So I'd love to know what you'd like to hear in future videos. Thank you. See ya.